From South Africa to London, all in the name to celebrate sinners. Everyone was sitting down with history makers, record breakers, box office name takers. I'm talking about award-winning kings. Yes, they are the ones who have the things that sings. And I'm talking about none other than the guys who have made it possible today. Everybody, it is Ryan Coogler as well as Michael B. Jordan.
I'm saying, like, man, who is she talking about? Like, what screening is she? Where is she at?
I'm talking about
Man.
you guys. You
Right.
make the film sing.
Man.
But guys, congratulations.
Thank you.
Firstly, because I'm from South Africa, right? It's only right that as a Xhosa woman, I greet you in my own native language, which is the language of Wakanda. And I say Molweni. Molweni, exactly. And more than anything else, that's firstly, I also need to say, because I wouldn't be welcomed back home if I didn't tell you that you have a personal invitation to please come back to South Africa at your earliest convenience from my fellow South Africans. They said I had to tell you.
Got it.
Okay.
You gotta.
Yeah,
We'll be back.
Thank you. You better.
definitely,
You
definitely.
better. Maybe on the next one, but let's focus on this one.
Yes, ma'am.
Because, guys, I literally just came from seeing it now. I am
wow.
reeling.
Okay.
What was it? Why so much genius? Why so much brilliance? Because it was absolutely everything. And I want to say a huge shout out to Uncle James for inspiring such beauty.
That's awesome.
But this is the
awesome.
thing. I then have to ask you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Who was Uncle James? And I say that because in
Yeah.
terms of like the characteristics that he holds, because yes, it was an ode to the blues, right? But then there's also the side where I'm like, why was Uncle James inspiring a horror movie, Ryan? Like, it could have been a rom-com, it could have been a drama, it could have been anything. Like, why a horror with vampires?
That was me.
Okay.
That wasn't Uncle James.
Oh, not Uncle Ryan. Okay, so he's also shocked where he is.
I mean, he probably laughing. You know what I mean? Like, he was the music and the setting. That's where my uncle came from.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with the vampires, that was your boy.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Did you grow up loving vampires?
Yeah, I love scary stuff. Like when I would come up, we would read these books called Goosebumps books.
Yes, I remember
R.L.
those.
Stein.
Yeah,
I
like,
remember
and he had
those.
Fear Street, and then my mom was reading Stephen King and Dean Koontz. So and then there were the movies, but it was also like a book. We had a book called Scary Stories to Tell After Dark, and
I've seen that
another
one.
book called Campfire Tales. Like I was reading all of that, scaring the shit out of myself.
Wow.
Yeah. So. And I love those movies too. Like so the love of horror as a genre.
Yeah.
I love it. It feels ancient. You know what I mean? Like it feels like you tap
I
in
get
that.
that.
So I just combine those things.
And you did it so beautifully because honestly, throughout the movie, I was sitting there like with my mouth gaping open because after every single thing that was happening, I couldn't believe it. But before I get into that, you guys are literally like the bromance we didn't know we needed in Hollywood. I want to say that. You complement each other so well, but more than anything else, I also love the fact that you guys meet each other at a point of genius. So this is why I want to know, and I'm asking both of you, starting with you, Michael. When we talk about the moment that there was the spark of understanding that you're working with a genius when it comes to each other, what moment would it have been on any of the sets that you were on where you, Michael, were like, oh my goodness, Ryan just blew my mind. I can't believe that he genuinely is one of the greatest of all time. Or for you, where you were like, Michael has just etched his name in history. He's definitely getting an award for this one. What was it for you guys?
I try not to think about stuff like that.
Okay.
If I think like that, I freeze up. So for me, I know that Mike's the same. We came up as athletes, and you gotta like focus on like what's right in front of you.
Yeah.
Or risk catastrophic failure. Like and Mike, I keep it to the work. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike's really good at his job, and that's what I need. You know what I'm saying? Each time we linked up, we're trying to get something done, and he was the best person. He was the best person to help me get it done.
I love that.
Everything that you're talking about and all these compliments, like it's all very it's very flattering and that might be some people's truth. You know what I'm saying? They might look at us and be moved by our work and believe these things. I don't know that it does.
It's not what you guys really focus on.
Well, I think it would actually do us a disservice if we looked at it that way.
I hear that.
Because the work is hard, man.
Yeah.
And it is very, it's real work. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike got to work with his body. You know what I'm saying? he's got to be in there with 60 days or so, probably 50 of those days, twin work.
He don't like compliments at all.
That I know.
But what he's saying is definitely
totally
true. No. Wait, look.
I'm good with a compliment like in the right setting.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
no, for sure. But we don't focus on those things. What he's saying is right.
No, but hear me out. If you say you like my pocket square, I would like that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. When it comes to the work, it's a different thing when it comes to the work, right? So. I got this one. I got you. So what he's saying is true.
Okay.
We don't focus on those things. We don't focus on the compliments or anything like that, and we get the work done. And I'm about that. But there is also another side of me of understanding of what we are to other people, into the world, into the community as well. That I do accept. You know what I'm saying?
Love that.
And maybe it comes from being in front of the camera. And growing up in front of the camera and evolving into something else, but there is a genius to him. There is a
genius in you as well.
No, I appreciate that. See, and I like appreciate that and keep it pushing. But because I want you to get on your time. Go, give me your next question.
No, 100%. I wanted to quickly ask you, just in terms of the nuances of the twins, how did you get it right that you were able to because I remember there was a moment I smiled at the screen where you made Smoke's voice a little bit lower than Stack's voice, and I was like, oh my goodness. Like, even being able to do that when you were doing it, at 2 different times.
Yeah. There was Ryan hooked me up with these twin consultants. Called their names was Noah and Logan Miller, and they were identical twins. And I got a chance to really talk with them and pick their brain and get into the psychology of what it's like to be identical twin. And I also had a dialect coach in Beth McGuire who helped me discover and work through the childhood trauma, that they carried with them, up to their adult lives, and how that manifests into their mannerisms, how they walked, how they talked, how they rested their body, and working off of the beautiful characters that Ryan kind of created in the world that he built. There were also a technical aspect to shooting these things, of having to work with a twin double named Percy Bell that I worked with. And figuring out what my performance was going to be before I actually had to go over there and actually play the other brothers. So the nuance of making choices on one side that I had to perform and deliver, figure out the blocking and the spacing that I'll be interacting with, project those onto my twin double. So when I changed clothes, I had to line those and time those up with my choices that I made on the other side. So when you see the twins interact with the characters around them, and Ryan intentionally put the twins in scenes with multiple people and groups of people to challenge how we shot it and make it more complicated in what we were visually trying to achieve. So it was a very intentional thing and very very, very methodical.
Well, you guys absolutely killed it. Thank you so much. I wanted to say more than anything else, thank you for allowing us to see ourselves in you. I think that's one of the most incredible things that is, so special about the work that you guys do. So well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thanks, guys.